Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Motorsport Manager. It is Surging Absurdity, second challenge with the pro level, time for race 5 in Phoenix. And as I mentioned a bit last time, we're definitely into the middle speedway type of the circuit. The Phoenix course needs top speed and spoiler for high speed corners. Very similar setup for Dubai and Guildford as well. So these three are going to be the high speed ones. And so generally speaking, I think I tend to do better in those for whatever reason. And unfortunately, there's no Milan. And I only say unfortunately because I have a soft spot for Milan. It was the first race I ever did a podium finish on this game with. So just tend to remember those things. But anyway, let's check through our emails. Channel 6 interview. What are my main worries at the moment? Now, this is an interesting question. Need to improve the car. That's not true. Upgrading the HQ. Driver lineup is weak, so we have to think of some changes. And I don't have any worries at all. The team looks great. And this is one of those where from a PR point of view, you know, I'm sort of going to deflect it here. I'm not going to be completely honest because it is the driver lineup. We got to replace Bags. But I'm going to say, you know, let's just upgrade that HQ. And that happens to make Chairman Einar Bohm happy. He's near max. And then we've just finished the suspensions. So we want to take a look at that before we do anything else. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, we've got 3 available. And is there a 4th that we want? We can't use either one of those, and we don't want... Yeah, so we want the 3. That's going to be the suspension that we want. And then we're going to want to build another one. Now, with this plus 5 days, it takes over 2 weeks to build. So the time is unfortunate. The cost, $400K, very reasonable. But the time is not great. Now, it's at 460, and of course, with this red zone subtracting, it's 15 points per 5%. So you can effectively add another 30. That'd be 490, and we're in the mid 350s right now. So this is going to be a significant boost, as you can see from the current best line there. But it's also going to take some time. So we're not going to be able to use this for the next race, and then the one after that we probably won't be able to use for the second race. Right now it says we're tops on everything, which is nice. And there's our car repairs. We've got some sponsors. We'll take a look at those a little bit later on. And we want to again improve top speed and the spoiler, engine and spoiler, and then the gearbox is the secondary priority. Let's just clear these out. Are there any reliability issues at all? I don't think there are. Nope. So okay, let's boost the spoiler and the engine. And then the gearbox, we can't boost that. So we want the brakes or the suspension. I think we want to throw on the brakes. Just because, you know, we're working on the suspensions right now. We'll be getting new ones. These are the ones we're going to be using for the rest of the season. Okay, and that's still going to get us finished well before. So we should be able to max out our performance, which is going to be great. Okay. And, yeah, everything's still looking good there. And there we go. That's done. And we've got the staff center up and going. Where is it? Right over here. So they've got, like, soccer field, they've got a building over here, you know, they've got some recreation centers, some places to meet, all that kind of fun stuff. Let's zoom in a little bit closer to see that. Now we got the fitness improvement for drivers, focus improvement for drivers, and improving staff stats. And again, this is a really good long-term thing. But it's not so much for a single season challenge. Don't really care that much. We don't have enough money to do much else. It's less than $1.5 million. And yes, factory staff is idle. So we just want to max out the current suspensions. Is about the only useful thing that they can do. The other thing is I could have them work on reliability for these suspensions so that we could use those temporarily. I didn't even think about doing that, but why not? If we max that out 4 days after the race. Let's max out this first. And actually, we're going to have one suspension for the next race. So I'm thinking we want to use this suspension for the next race and then the new one, if you will. So we don't really need to put the effort in there. So if we do this, look at that, 1 hour before the race for both. Well, that's going to work out just perfectly. Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that, you know, since we've backed everything else out, let's use the interim items since the suspensions we're working on are going to take so long. So I don't think I've ever done that before, but it does make sense, I think. Let's roll with it. What do we have going on? Mia Holgersson wants a test track. Would help her improve her skills as a racer. Might have the space to build a powertrain unit. Massively helping new engines we designed. What do you think? What I think is that it costs several $1 million that we don't have. Elaine Moeller, 50 laps for Phoenix. A little over 2.5 miles. Lap record is 122. I doubt it's going to be quite that high. Bone dry. High-speed circuits with suiting strong engines. And soft and medium tires. Okay, let's see where we're at. And yeah, we're still thinking about an hour before the race. Okay. Let's just go ahead and do that. The Challenger Series has to put in their 2 cents. And, yeah. Oh, goodness. We have, Tommy Klein says Mia Holgersson has a great chance of winning. Mia's also concerned about catching Lori. Well, you're tied with Lori. They're currently literally tied in the standings. And Vittoria Corsa going to continue to struggle. We'd like some of Will Bagg's time for interview. Is that okay? We'll reimburse you for the time we used naturally. I don't really need the money. I could afford the morale hit, but why do it if I don't need it? Just say it's a distraction and call it a day. And let's make sure, yeah, 1 hour, 34 minutes before the race, so we're happy with that. Okay, we've got our new suspension designed. This one right here. And then we want, yeah, they're going to tell us that's finished. Let's get another one just like it rolling. Another 400K. And then let's also boost I do want to finish this up because I want to max that out for this race. So I actually don't think I want to add this one on. It doesn't do any good. We'll be able to handle it for the next race because that's the only thing we'll be working on. So let's just go ahead and performance work complete. Factory staff idle, and now let's throw that one in. And we'll just split the time evenly. Doesn't really matter, they're not going to get any work on it done before the race. Let's take a look at our sponsors. We have Ishikawa Malt Whiskey, $1 million up front, 1.2 million bonus if we win. Northern Harbor, 1.25 million up front, and 880K for doing second or better. And Notify, nothing up front, 700K for doing second or better. A big bonus for Russia, but I still don't see why we would want to take that one. So it's between these two. The question is whether we plan on using it or not, basically. Larger upfront payment, but less during the race. And I think Holgerson, I mean, since Holgerson's like favored to win, we've got the best car. Holgerson's not the best driver, but she's good. She's favored to win this next race. So I'm going to go for it and take Ishikawa. That'll take us up to almost 2 million. And we're not going to see any more for a few races. It's going to be close to the end of the season by the time we see any more sponsors. So they kind of are what they are at this point. Okay, and we're definitely going to want to... Yeah, we're going to hit that. And see, the thing is, if we win either qualifying or the race, it would be better than getting both from Wanchai. So all we have to do is finish first in one of them. And finish in both, great. But if we finish first in one of them, we're still ahead of the game. Let's get some parts going. Let's see if we can... Now, that is slightly better suspension for Holgerson. But we're going to throw this one on bags. Glad to have the better car. And then pick to finish first. And bags picked to finish second. I think he was down lower like third or fourth before... you know, taking a look at that. So, weather, 31 degrees for practice. That's hot. Hot for qualifying. Pretty hot for the race. Definitely going to want to be using the medium tires here. So, I mean, yeah, if we finish top two, that would just be spectacular. Let's take a look at our car comparison first. We're actually second in the top speed now to Spartan. Acceleration is first. Brakes are first. First in all of the corners. Especially, of course, for bags with that much better. I wanted to just check and see. Yeah, 355 versus 420. So it's not as good as ones we're going to get, but it's still very much an improvement. Let's get out there. Like the prime perch in the background, very much a Best Buy generic thing there. $315 is going to be our bonus. Weather, 32, 31 degrees, dry as can be. And Lori at first. Gabler second, and those are indeed, generally speaking, going to be our top rivals. Sevilla down in 11th, Cruz 15th, so maybe other teams aren't going to be looking that great either. Must be worried, not at all. Holgerson disappointed, yep, like I thought, everybody's upset. And, of course, we have no relevant bonuses. Lori at 6.4 form. The early standard to beat. And who did we lose? Nobody from the top teams. Spartan in 1st and 10th. We're 2nd and 9th. Hammer 3rd and 6th with Cruz and Gabler, perhaps looking a little better than either one of us. And one of the nice things about having, using the soft tires, and we're planning on using the mediums for the race, is that we can sort of do whatever we feel like here. And again, none of the top teams. Spartan 1st and 10th, 4th and 5th for Hammer, 2nd and 7th. Very consistent. So, I mean, it's looking like, again, Hammer might be with 2 top 5 performances. They could be actually the team to beat, but them and Spartan and us all right there. Now, Phoenix Pole goes to Gabler. It was a superb lap. I mean, you just got to hand it to her. She did fantastic. Let's take a look at the standings real quick. And, so Hammer gets the 2 points, but I'm okay with that because they're further behind. I'm worried about Spartan in this race. There's enough of a gap between them that Hammer can do what they want. I'm worried about Spartan. And, of course, where we finish. Oh, we'll go with our medium and our race trim. And, of course, we'll start aggressively. Anytime you're in the top half, you pretty much want to do that. Okay. So, 16 laps, we're not going to get that much out of it. And then I think this is pretty much a 2-stop race. I want to have minimal fuel at the beginning. And I do mean minimal. And then, grab a couple sets of mediums later. Minimal fuel at the beginning and burn those tires. So I think I'm going all the way down to 4 laps. Both drivers. Now, the one issue with this is that it's going to make our first pit stop longer than everybody else's. Because they don't have to spend the time at the beginning of the race to, put the extra fuel in. Obviously, that's free time. And then our first stop, we're going to have to add more fuel than they do. But I still like the idea of being faster. We'll see how it works out. Gabler 6, Hashimoto 7 in the front. Then Lori 6 and Holgersson 6 behind. Cruz 7, Bags 5 in the 3rd row. So overall, having Bags up in the 3rd row is not bad. And of course, let's remember to go hybrid from the start. Holgersson with a good start. Well, had Lori there for a minute. Oh my goodness, Lori going wide there initially before we even get to the first turn, and that is just spectacular for us. We are in second or third, yeah. We are moving up 2nd and 4th at the moment. Really good start for Wolfhagen. Can we keep it rolling? Still 2nd and 4th with Hashimoto out there. Ooh, my. Got to go back down to conserve now. The tires are getting fried. Go conserve. Now it's going to be harder to hold the positions here. Certainly not to the end of the race, but that's not what we're trying to do. And Holgersson managing to hold on to second anyway. She's racing pretty well, and Baggs is decent. Hashimoto pulling away and also burning the tires more than we are. So let's shift down to medium. And Holgersson gonna run out of fuel first. I think I want Holgersson to come in on the next lap. Well, Holgersson's fuel is better. You know what? Let's have Baggs come in now. Switch to mediums. Average 25 laps, and we only need to get 40. That's fine. So this is lap what, 11? Okay, so we want to get about 20 out of this. And I'm going to go with 12 laps of fuel. Might not need that much. And there goes Baggs into the pit. Then Holgersson will come in this time. I want to get about 19 laps here. I go with 12 again. I never know how much to go for these because I don't know how far back I'm going to get, and therefore how much harvesting. And I feel like I'm getting too much, but I just don't know how it's going to work. Baggs out in 17th is going to be able to harvest 19th. He's going to be able to harvest up a storm, at least for a while. Holgersson leading by 2.5 seconds. And comes in with 5% and less than a quarter lap of fuel. Gabler taking the lead. And down to the bottom half of the field where we'll be able to harvest some. Okay. Yep, and you can see other drivers coming in after and then leaving sooner. They had to get less fuel. And Holgersson, you know, still behind, 15th and 19th now. Should be able to harvest quite a bit. And the temperature to the tires is still going to go up. It's just not going to go up as fast. Up to neutral as we continue our efforts to try to get in contact with Lori. We gain like, you know, half a second or so to about where we are now, and then we lose it back. Yeah, this is going to be Holgersson's final lap. It's 30. Another fresh set of mediums. We need to get 20. And I think I need most of it in fuel. This last time I picked up 12 and it was enough, but I think we're going to be up higher in the field this time as it spreads out. $14 or $15 sounds about right to me. I'm going to go with 14. Looks like it's a second. Like each lap of fuel takes a second. Huh. And yeah, a lap of fuel is 0.073 seconds, so we get that 10 or 12 laps at the beginning. Yeah, for this track at least, as fast as it is, as long as you spend in the pit row, I think I actually had the wrong starting strategy. I should have started with more fuel. Okay. So 14 laps. All depends on how far back we get pushed. Do I want to go 15 and then... Yeah, I'm just going to go 15 and then push it harder if I need to. Go ahead and push the tires for that last little bit, Mia. Bags temporarily up to 4th. He'll come in. Now, he doesn't need as much. He needs 19 laps. He's going to be able to use a lot more charge. Frankly, I think even 10 is too much. I'm going to go with 9. Wow, back to 11th. I didn't think I was going to drop back that far. Okay. Edwards repairing. Well, I think I've got to go high to use up some of this fuel. Really think I misjudged the fuel on her. That's unfortunate. I'm not going to gain up like a second of time with every lap of fuel I burn, but now that I'm out there. Bags out in 13th. Oh shoot! I never went hybrid with Holgersen. Oh, doggone it. Totally blew that. You go low. I meant to do that a lap ago. And Laurie's going into the pit. Holgersen takes the lead. And I think she's going to have just enough on low to finish. Bags, I think, can go up to medium after this lap. In the final lap. How much is the lead? 5 seconds in closing. Laurie is charging. Just came in and switched tires probably. Got very little fuel, I'm sure. Yep. Gonna have enough to finish. What about Bags? Should have enough to switch up to medium now. So how does first and fifth look? Looks like we win the race. Well, Maxime Laurie, thank you very much for screwing up your pit stop. 4/100ths of a lap of fuel. 3/100ths. Talk about noticing it at the last second. Laurie does the fastest lap of the race, and it's not enough to catch us. Bags going to come across in fifth. Dutt had almost no tires left. Would have been nice to get Bags up to fourth or third. And you know, I'm starting to have a nightmare about this thing. Because as Bags continues to get weaker, I can just see us holding a small lead the whole time and Spartan taken away from us in the double points at the end. I can see that happening. I mean, I hope it doesn't. But I think, particularly the way I'm just struggling a bit with the strategy. I mean, I can see it happening. I think this is going to be one of those that just goes down to the wire. Laurie with the fastest lap getting... Yeah, that's just bonus points for Spartan. Exactly what we wanted. Pole position for Gabler and Hammer. I think Spartan's going to be up a point on us now. Or no, they won't. I think maybe we tie the race. Is the way it's going to be. Let's wait and see. Dutt broke the rules and Bags gets up to fourth. Thank you for catching that. Oh, thank you so much, GMA. 10-second penalty for Wood from Lockhart. Capello. Rodriguez crashed. Lots of people having problems. Holgerson wins. The two Spartan drivers finish second and third. And Holgerson just barely takes the points lead back from Laurie. Bags holding in fifth, but could still finish as high as third or potentially drop further as he declines more. Okay, it was a 6-point lead, now it's a 7-point lead, so we gain a point. But it's very clearly now, especially with the next two races being fast ones, it's very clearly now down to us and Spartan. Everybody else has fallen away. If Spartan... I really like Spartan to have one more bad race. The lead has been in this general area for, I think, basically since the end of the second race, the last 3-4 races. I don't know if we're the coolest, but we're in first, doggone it. Yeah, Holgerson's 7.0, which she had an 8 in the last race. Prior to that, not so good. So she's up to a 5.4 on the year. More decline from Bags, who had a 3.7. His worth showing form-wise, but as high as he's been. He's been fourth 5 times. So he's been the spot below the podium 4 out of the 5 races. And we do get the bonus for winning. Almost got none. So yeah, it's definitely a tense situation for Wolfhagen. But we're holding out. And our headquarters overall went up to second. We're third before the staff center got completed. That's a nice little boost. But I think the next couple races, Dubai and Guildford, the very middle of the calendar, the middle 2 races, and Spartan may have the edge on us because of their faster engine. We got the best car overall, but speed is the most important thing on those tracks, and they've got a slight edge there. So I'm hoping in those two we can hold the line, maintain a 6 or 7 point lead, and then possibly build on it in the races Spartan isn't as strong in. I mean, that's my best idea on what I want to try to do. Our sponsors are not considered great, only 7th. So it's going to be tense. It is going to be tense. But the last race of the first half in Dubai coming up next time. Until then, thanks for watching. Wolfhagen in the lead, but it's not an easy one.